I mean, I do like Kenny Atkinson signing, and I got to give credit. Donovan Mitchell, he gave him a lot of breathing room. A 3 year, 150 million is a good deal.
Now he has a player option for 2027-28,
Yeah,
and
yeah, he's left a lot of flexibility for himself, which was expected. I expected him to leave a lot of flexibility for himself.
the Cavs. So did they sign Isaac Okoro?
I thought they did that midseason.
No, his contract is up. Let me see.
I swear they did that midseason.
No, his contract is up.
Okay.
Yeah, his contract is up. They have to make a decision on him.
Yeah.
So they're still wow. They're almost at the cap though. They still
Yeah.
have quite a few people to fill in, and they're almost at the cap. So they're an expensive team that don't really have a lot of draft picks either.
Yeah.
What do you think made Donovan resign? Because I'm trying to understand, like, what are the building blocks that they can improve on this team? Are they getting rid of Garland? They don't have any draft picks necessarily to trade until I think 2030. I gotta check that.
They're gonna
Yeah,
have to trade. They're
they
gonna have
have
to
they
trade more.
they have
They're gonna have
they
to trade one of their big men, and they're gonna have to trade a Garland.
2030 is when they have their own.
Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, they play too much similar of a role.
Yeah, they have a lot of redundant roles on this team, but what made Mitchell re-sign? Like, what was the promise? Like, what do you think?
I think Kenny Atkinson was a major selling point. I think coaching was a major selling point.
Coaching and
Yeah.
I'm
Because you
what?
can tell this is a Donovan Mitchell signing. Because Donovan Mitchell, right after the signing happened, you saw me Kenny Atkinson. So it's pretty clear that Donovan Mitchell had his way when it came to free agency, and when it came to the coaching personnel on that team.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna consider
Mhm.
re-signing Evan Mobley. He's eligible for an extension, but
They're re-signing him.
you think so? Because there has
Mobley's
to
raw
be an
talent.
elevation.
Yeah, there has
Be-
to be a big elevation, but there's still so defensively he's shown to be a great defender on the perimeter and on the interior, right? He's shown to be a great defender. But the thing is, can he get his offense together? And maybe the best way to get his offense together is maybe having the floor much more stretched out. Because I think that's one thing they did good the following season. They had guys who can stretch out the floor with Max Strus and Dean Wade. Those guys were able to stretch out the floor
yeah,
for them.
but here's the thing though. It's still 50-50 with him because that's why the last coach got fired. He stagnated, and what's his name stagnated? The other Darius Garland. They kind of
Yeah,
stagnated from what they did the previous years.
yeah.
So did those guys really hit a plateau? That new coach, then Kenny Atkinson is going to
Yeah.
be very foretelling for these guys. That's if they're still on the team. But I believe Garland, he might not be on the team. Who knows? They already made the
Garland
commitment
might
to
not be
him.
on the team. And I don't know if they move on from Jared Allen because Jared Allen and Kenny Atkinson have a good relationship.
They do ever since Brooklyn. But you know what? I'm lying. I think Garland's going to still be on this team. I'm looking at his numbers right now: 36, 38, 42, and 44.
But I wonder what kind of offense they put him into because I don't think that double big lineup benefits Garland either.
Yeah, but it's going to be
Because
hard to move
Garland's good
him.
at driving into the basket.
Yeah, but it's
You
going to be
kind of
hard to
make
move him.
Yeah, it is hard to move him, but I'm saying it's like his play itself, like the way he plays, it gets stagnated because of how the offense is really set up with like not much of a spacing.
Yeah, and then Donovan,
'Cause-
also another dominant ball handler.
Yeah, so like it's interesting what Cleveland's trying to do. I think it's made them into a good team, but I think as the East keeps getting better, they'd have to also like try to get at least somewhat better because I think Indiana it's gonna be a problem. Orlando, let's see how Orlando jumps this season. I think obviously the Bucks, just because of Giannis, they're going to be a problem. And New York, Philly, and Celtics are really like the big three dragons.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
New York,
I,
Boston, and
I'll
Philly.
wait.
I
I'll wait
think.
to the end of July, but I think the Bucks are gonna need a full reevaluation. I would not be
I mean, right
surprised.
now they didn't make any moves. Like they made
They
what
can't.
Dylan
They
Wright.
can't.
Yeah,
They're stuck with how Phoenix is stuck in the minimum,
yeah, they're
fishing
stuck.
in that
But
pool.
yeah, they're just gonna get veteran guys like Dylan Wright. And I don't know, Dylan Wright doesn't really move the needle all that much. He's a good veteran, but he doesn't move the needle. I think the Bucks will have to reevaluate their roster too.
Yeah, but with what tools? They need tools to pivot. They don't have it.
Yeah, they do.
They don't. They do not have tools to pivot. The only pivot would be to get rid of some stars. That would be the only pivot. Remember, they're paying
Yeah,
Brook Lopez, they're paying Dame, they're paying Giannis, they're paying
Middleton.
Middleton. Yeah, like
And Middleton's fresh new contract too.
yeah. So and Middleton's contract is not that bad, especially with the cap going up. As
And
long
then you
as he
got Bobby
makes his
Portis.
shots,
Yeah.
he's Gucci.
And
But
he was good in the playoffs, to his credit.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the,
So let me ask.
but
Yeah.
going back to the Cavs, I believe Atkinson is going to get the best out of Evan Mobley. And like you said, it'll be interesting to see how he uses Garland in that offense.
Yeah.
Because
Kenny
Garland's not a
Atkinson.
catch and shoot guy.
And I think one thing Kenny Atkinson goes going for him is he was able to rejuvenate the Warriors as an assistant coach.
Yeah.
In
He's
that
a good coach.
2020 run.
He did an excellent job in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, the rebuild was great.
I thought they should have never fired him. For Steve
No, they
Nash?
shouldn't have fired him. But I think also one thing that benefits them, they have familiar faces too, because Karis LeVert and Jared Allen, they know how to play with him. And
Mhm.
clearly Donovan Mitchell likes him enough, and he sold on the whole idea of Kenny Atkinson being his coach. Because I think this whole offseason was how do we get Donovan Mitchell to sell, along with keeping the role players happy. When your role players already played for the guy, they're going to be more than happy to play for him again.
Yeah. The Cavs. Did they have any draft picks that they got this year?
I don't think they drafted anybody, did they? I mean, I don't really pay attention to drafts, to be honest with you, until like the regular season comes around.
That's
But they
okay.
have Craig Porter Jr. He's on their payroll, and Sam Merrill. Those are the two main guys they signed in the midseason.
They signed a 6'6" wing, so we'll see what becomes of it. They selected him 20th
Yeah.
overall.
And they do need wings, so
Yeah, so we'll see what becomes of Jalen Tyson. So,
yeah,
but the Cavs, I trust Atkinson to develop this guy, but I mainly trust him to develop Evan Mobley. Mobley gotta level
yeah.
up because he's had the same numbers for back to
The
back
past two
years,
seasons,
man.
yeah,
And he
it's not a
should
good
be,
look.
yeah.
Especially like everyone knows what he is offensively, like not defensively. That's why he got drafted so high. But the thing what people are hoping for is he figures that out offensively.
Yeah, which could be developed a lot
Yeah.
easier than defensively.
Because if he figures that out offensively, like teams like Knicks and teams like the Knicks and teams that are like big, you match him pretty well with them. But if he doesn't figure it out offensively, then you're just screwed.
And he can help them space the floor a lot better.
Yeah, 100%. Because you already got Mastrus who can straight space out the floor. You already got Donovan Mitchell who can drive and create opportunities. Same with Garland. So it's like it's just like how it just on paper they look solid, but let's just see how it plays on the court. Because the past two seasons, I'll say this, they look solid on paper. Especially last season, they look great on paper, and mid-season they look awesome. That's why they were able to secure such a high seed. But it's like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
how does it look in the playoffs?
I think Cleveland kind of dispelled the narrative of just the small market and not being able to retain their players.
Yeah, and I think Dan Gilbert. I think one thing you kind of saw a change in him because he's no longer the guy who wants the camera on him all the time.
I never knew he was even that guy to begin with.
Hey, dude, he did do that. And like LeBron, when LeBron left, you kind of saw him more on the scene.
Yeah, he kind of what you're trying to say. He pulled that Mark Cuban, all in the videos, all in the
Yeah, he
locker
did pull
room.
that. Yeah, like I'm the reason why Cleveland's this. Like he's a fan. I don't even think he's a bad owner, but he just went around it the wrong way.